What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the final episode of Series Recap for the season, here for the week of September 26th. My name, as always, is Yeso, and it was an incredible finish to the season all across Guilty Gear Strive, Apex Legends, and Halo Infinite. We're here to talk about it all here today, and I cannot wait to get into the fun. One thing I do want to tell you guys before we jump into this, we are planning on technically doing one more episode of Series Recap for the season. We'll be looking back at the entire season we have just finished, so look forward to that coming out very soon. But let's focus here now on the final week here. As always, we kick things off with Apex Legends. Coming into the final week of the season, multiple races in the cumulative standings were incredibly important with just 2 nights to play. Nerf and Excedrin were neck and neck battling for first place. Excedrin had held first place for essentially the entire back half of the season, but Nerf looking to challenge them here in the final week. Meanwhile, down in 4th place with relegation on the line, both Mike and Ike and Intel duking it out. Mike and Ike's late season charge to try and keep their spot safe in Season 6 culminated this week. Intel came into the week with a slight lead, but Mike and Ike with the opportunity to challenge them. So let's jump into Tuesday. Of course, open night, and this was an absolute banger from 2 of the teams I already mentioned. Team Nerf coming out blazing, winning 2 games on the night, and they ended up taking first place overall on the night, and that jumped them ahead of Excedrin to take the lead in our cumulative standings going into Wednesday. Meanwhile, Mike and Ike had a really good performance, finishing 2nd overall, though it wasn't quite good enough to pass up Intel. Intel's win in Game 6 kept 4th place in their possession for the time being, but the margin was so very slim going into Wednesday. Of course, now we jump into Wednesday night, the final pro night of the season, with some of the best squads from all across North America coming out to compete. It was all on the line this time around. Excedrin, with a bit of a gap to make up, were looking to chase down Nerf, but could not do it. Nerf, with a bit of a middling performance on the night, were still able to do enough to keep hold of first place and capture the Series E championship. Turns, after 3 seasons of competing in Series E, is finally sitting at the top of the competition, and it is certainly well-deserved. Meanwhile, down to 4th place, again, Intel coming into the night with the lead, held off Mike and Ike for a while, but Mike and Ike in the second half were able to pass them up, and going into the final game of the night, held just a 3-point lead over Team Intel. Intel playing slow in Game 6, trying to keep themselves alive for the placement points, got them going for a little while, but Mike and Ike came in playing confident and aggressive as they have all second half of the season. It ended up paying off as Mike and Ike not only won some great fights, but survived longer than Team Intel to capture 4th place and guarantee their safety going into Season 6. It was an incredible finish to the season, and of course, congrats to NRG, who finished first place for the 4th time in the last 5 weeks on Wednesday night. But it was an incredible run for all of our partner teams, and we cannot wait for more next season. Now for the end of our action in Guilty Gear Strive for this season. Umisho, she came into the final week of the season with such an incredible lead that actually didn't even have to place here on this past Thursday night. Umisho is our new Series E Guilty Gear Strive champion, following up on Jonathan Tene's performance back in Season 1. Despite that, Tempest in 2nd place was still looking to go out on top at the end of the season and absolutely blazed through the winner's bracket all the way until winner's finals, where Tempest fell to Bean. And Bean, of course, coming off of a strong performance at CEO Taku last weekend, finishing 2nd place behind Nubenheimer's Naga. Tempest, though, was not going to be denied and showed up strong in losers finals and in grands. Forced the reset against Bean, and going to a final game, final round in the grand finals reset, Tempest took it all, beating Bean to capture 1 final title to end the Series E season. Meanwhile, elsewhere on the standings, Razo was hoping to pass up Red Ditto for 4th place overall, but couldn't quite do it as Red Ditto showed up strong overall on the night. Meanwhile, Jonathan Tene finishing with a great performance inside of the top 4 here in the final week. Umisho with an uncharacteristic just top 8 finish still had a hell of a season, and we cannot wait to see more from her next time around. Of course, thank you so much to all the players that continue to come out week after week to compete, and all of you spectators who have enjoyed our journey with the FGC and Series E Guilty Gear Strive. We cannot wait for next season. And of course, we finish the show with Halo Infinite. A short week here for the Halo Infinite scene as, of course, with Orlando going on last weekend, a lot of folks were traveling and still in Orlando on Monday, so no open night competition this time around. Of course, big congratulations out to Optic winning their first Halo Infinite LAN at the Orlando Major, taking down Cloud9 in the Grand Finals. But of course, let's turn our attention to the final night of Series E Halo Infinite for the season. Friday night, of course, only 3 teams coming out this time, so E United get the automatic bye to the Grand Finals, courtesy of their strong finish at Orlando. Meanwhile, we had Piggy's squad, Oinksters, competing against Esports Arena Blue in the first round. This was a tightly contested set for the first 2 games. Oinksters coming out with the win in CTF to kick things off, and then we went into Slayer, and coming into that one, Esports Arena Blue carried a ton of momentum from their strong showing in Game 1 and were dominant to kick things off. But an 11-point lead wasn't enough to hold on to and give them the win. Oinksters made the comeback late in that Slayer game and ended up taking the win to take the 2-0 lead. Sadly for Esports Arena Blue, it seemed that second game loss took all of the wind out of their sails. They struggled on strongholds in game number 3 and ended up falling 3-0 to Oinksters. Oinksters then moved on to face E United in the Grand Finals, and while I personally was leaning heavily in the E United direction, Oinksters came out to prove what they had. They took 2 of the first 3 games and looked like they were going to close out the series in Game 4, but a strong late push from E United tied the series up and forced us to a deciding Game 5. E United saved their best for last, dominant in the final Slayer game of the series to take a 3-2 win and grab a nice $500 for themselves as the final Series E champions of Season 2. All right, folks, that does it. We are done with Series E Season 5 of Apex Legends and Season 2 of Guilty Gear Strive and Halo Infinite. It has been an absolutely incredible journey, and we want to say thank you so much to all of you who have gone on this journey alongside us. Congratulations to our champions, of course, Team Nerf in Apex Legends and Razor Umisho in Guilty Gear Strive. We cannot wait for more. We encourage you, if you're looking forward to next season and you want more information, keep an eye out on our Twitter feed at Esports Arena and our website, esportsarena.com. We have plenty of incredible announcements coming very, very soon. So if you want to know about qualifiers next season and all of that good stuff, make sure to keep your eyes over there, and we will see you next time here on Series Recap.